Well, hello and welcome back to Finding My Online Biz. My name's Keith Alchin and today we're going to look at making thumbnails. Let's get right into it. Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to continue with following Tim Schmoyer's ebook, 30 Days to a Better YouTube Channel. We're up to day 8. Today we're going to cover 3 topics. First of all, a little bit of theory up front about thumbnails and what I think of them. And then we're going to look at number 2, we're going to see how to configure custom thumbnails. And then thirdly, we actually get on and set up a custom thumbnail using Snapper. Again, the link is below. Let's get into it. So thumbnails, they're probably the first thing that people will see at your channel. You'll notice that on the right hand side there, show the recommended or what comes up next, and you'll see the thumbnail. So your thumbnail becomes critically important when you're doing videos. Make your thumbnail bright and make your thumbnail catchy. So all you really need to have a custom thumbnail is to be in right standing with YouTube according to the Google help page, and that's all you need. As long as you've got custom thumbnails, away you go. Create your own custom thumbnail. I suggest you use Snapper, so just go to snapper.com and use their template. It's fantastic. Or go to Canva and use their templates. That's also fantastic. The nice part about Canva is it's got an iOS app that you can download and do your thumbnails from that. I find that really... Welcome back viewers, Keith here again. Okay, so a few things you need to know about when you're setting up custom thumbnails, and that is that you've got to have the right settings on your channel. Just scoot off to YouTube here. There we go. And we're gonna click on our channel icon here. We're going to say down here to settings, click on settings. Once you're in settings, scroll down a little bit to view additional features. Now, as I said before, as long as you're in right standing, now you'll know whether you are or not because it'll say you've got no copyright strikes and you've got no community guidelines strikes either. Now if we scroll down into the things that you have active, now in Tim's book, I'm not 100% sure whether it's a typo or whether it's just maybe that's the way it was done when he wrote the book, but as you can see, I don't have monetization enabled, although the book does say you need to have monetization enabled, but that's not the case. As long as you're in right standing and you custom thumbnails here enabled, you're pretty much good to go. You can go ahead and create your custom thumbnails. So now that we know we can do that, we can now go ahead and create a custom thumbnail. What I would suggest, of course, is to go to Snapper, www.snapper.com, and we'll simply go there, log in. This is a Snapper interface and it's pretty straightforward. If you want to create one of these kinds of posts, you can. As you can see, YouTube thumbnail, pretty straightforward. Click on the YouTube thumbnail, which is of course 1280 by 720 pixels. So click on create. I mean, you can use one of these too if you want. I'm going to make one for the thumbnail, or just a quick demo really. Now you can upload your photos and things like that you might have as well. So here we go, we just kick it off. Okay, background designs, we can have all sorts of photographs there as you can see, and you can do graphics and shapes and all sorts of bits and pieces, and you can change the colors of the shapes and all of that sort of thing. and you can use graphics. If I want to grab something of my own, I can go here, I can grab my own photo, or I can upload another image. Okay, I can go and upload something like, don't you just hate it when you do something? I'm going to use this one. Okay, then this is just my little thumbnail that I use on my thumbnails. So let's just go and create some things on here. We'll just go with we'll just use some shapes. Take a shape and you can resize it to whatever we can make that a nice color as well. So we can change its color and then go to color like so and change it to my little mustardy. There he is. Okay. You can see it's a transparent background, so I can throw him down here in the corner where I normally put him. Okay, now we can start doing text and graphics and things like that. Okay, we can even put the grid on so we can see, you know, that we're putting things in the right place. We can toggle the grid, we can change the grid size, all of those sorts of things as well. That's pretty straightforward. So let's just go and grab some text. Let's add a heading. Let's say creating thumbnails. I'll probably put the YouTube in a different writing. So what I'll do here is I'll simply just grab that, flick it over on its side, see if we can like so. Oops, that's not what I want. Good old Control Z, get me out of trouble there. Click back on that, move that up here. Now I could change that text, we could make that white or we could make it some other color, you know, whatever takes your fancy, of course, something like that. And if you wanted to be super clever, what you could do, you could take a copy of that, Control C and Control V, and now I've got a copy of that. What you can do is you could then change its color to something like this, and I could simply go like this. Old school editing technique. Alright, so that gives me a whitish background over top of the black. I could do it the other way around too, put the white on top of the black, but for the moment that works for me. And I'll create another piece of text and I'll just put it in large font. I'll say text, add another heading. I'm going to say, in this one I'm just going to say YouTube. Okay, I'm going to say YouTube. Okay, and of course we can increase the size of that text here. We could make it say 100, and then if we could just change the color to a red, and once again we could copy that, paste, select it first, Keith, copy, Control C, Control V. That's what it is on a computer anyway. And Control C. That's better. Okay. And I can do the same with this one too. I can grab a white there and we can drop it over the top. Except I don't want it there. So here's the up and the down on the layer. So I simply just push it back into the layer, and I can either make that bigger by offsetting it better, like so. You get the idea. That's the main point. You get the idea. You can put graphics, shapes, all sorts of things. You know me, I love to stick a shape or two on the YouTube thumbnail. So I'll grab that there. We'll offset that in a different shade, different color. Just play with it. Go here. Oh, I just did the border. I just need to do the outside as well. There we go. So look at that. I could set the border, of course, to white, and will that make it stand out? Not much, but I could increase that border and make it better. Now here on the text as well, if I wanted to do something different with that, what I could do is I could say, I could grab that for an example. I could then take the offset. Oh, this allows you to do an offset. Can you see that? See, can you see it's doing the blurred offset shadow? So that's the shadow, and that's okay. It gives us an offset, but I don't feel like I've got the same control of that I would have otherwise had. I mean, I can blur the shadows. See that? So I've now got a blurred background. That's not too bad. So I can offset it, and I can do a blur like so. Give it a blur like that. The nice part about that is because that's all part of one image, I can simply just carry that around, and I don't have to worry about it. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to say, I don't know, 150. Thumbnails for you. You can keep it as simple or as complex as you like, and it's entirely up to you. You know, I know some thumbnails get busy and things like that, but it's just your creative. The idea is just to make it stand out, to make it pop out so that people see it. That's the main point. So I like to put some other things on mine because it simply does make it stand out. I can do something like this. Let's just do this, drag that up there. 100% happy with that background. It just doesn't seem to be quite right. Move that over a fraction and grab this end, a side piece. There we go. Like so. There we go. Now we'll grab that and move that in like so. Creating thumbnails for YouTube. Okay, now I could change that color. I could leave it the same. I can do whatever I want with it. So it's as easy as that. So once I've got the thumbnail created and I want to use that, I can then and I can do the same with this one as well. Let's just, in fact, I will do that. I'm going to go there and I'm just going to delete that one. I'm going to come back, come back to here, grab that. Creating thumbnails, YouTube. I'll work on this, of course. It's not quite what I want yet, but it's close. I'm going to do that. I'm going to offset that, say 5, and I'm also going to increase the blur to about 10. Gives me a blurred background. There we go. Look at that. So pretty straightforward. I like to put something on my YouTube thumbnails that denotes this is coming from me. Now, obviously, for some of you, you're doing a lot of face shots. For me, because time's an issue and I'm always rushing from one thing to another, I tend to use this style for making my thumbnails. What I find is if you've got some good camera shots of yourself, some good headshots and some good action shots, sure, use those and drop those in as well. This tool isn't a graphics art package, so it's not like Paint Shop Pro, Photoshop, or one of those tools. So you can't do some of those pulling out the backgrounds and things like that. So once you've got your image, you can simply download it like so. Boom, boom. High resolution JPEG, I would suggest. It's now downloading. Show it in the folder. Give it a name. And you're good to go. I hope that was helpful. I hope that makes some help somebody out there to create some thumbnails. Just remember, try and keep your thumbnail catchy. Make sure that it stands out, it jumps out. Good colourful thumbnails are great because they stand out on the right hand side pane when people are scrolling through, and people do have a habit of clicking on things that are bright and colourful. So just think about that. If you've got a brand and they know you and you're the brand, sure, put your face on it. I've got my face on it, but it's the imaged version of me, or the inked version, whatever you call it. So anyway, until next time, enjoy the journey, and I'll see you next time. Bye.